Hello, beautiful Capricorn, and welcome to November 2020. We are getting into some really juicy territory here with you all. Um, honestly, of all the signs, there is something so symbolic about November for Capricorns because it really is the last full month with all this energy working in your sign, right? Jupiter and Saturn are leaving your sign in December 17th and 18th, heading straight into a conjunction together in Aquarius. But because November is the last of this is an important energetic moment for Capricorns, to take really honest stock. And the high point of this is going to be on the 12th, when Jupiter and Pluto join together for one final time. They are conjunct in your sign. There's a meeting here. Jupiter expands whatever it's looking at, right? And Pluto is all about power and transformation. It's expanding that transformative thing. Like, what has this year with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in your sign brought you? And how has that changed you? How has that helped you to grow? How has that changed who you think of as who you are, who your essential self is? That's a really powerful time. So the middle of this month, as we move through Scorpio season, is going to be really intense. Along with that, Mars is going direct on the 13th into the 14th in Aries, fellow cardinal sign. Fourth house of the hidden, the home, the family for you, also really impactful. So this is just an important time. And of course, as we move into Sagittarius season, we're moving into your 12th house. We're getting prepared for your birthday season. We're getting prepared for Capricorn season, for the solstice, all of that. And as we move to the end of the month into Sagittarius, it's more of that stock taking stock of your transformational journey. And I think what's important with this, I think it's so important to give ourselves credit for everything we've done. I think we've talked about this before, Capricorn, but I'm going to say it again because this is my channel and these are the things that are important to me. Saturn's been with you for 3 years. It's your ruling planet, yes, but Saturn also is a demanding energy. He wants things to be the best. He wants things to only be the best for you. And there is an intensity to it, right? Regardless, if he's working close with you, there's an intensity. And you got to give yourself credit for all that you have done. And this year with Jupiter in your sign, giving yourself credit for all that you have done. And even, Pluto's starting to get into the late degrees of Capricorn. We're starting to round the corner. We don't have much longer left with Pluto in Capricorn. What have you grown and learned into? So that's one. November can just be a month. Honestly, take a minute every day and just acknowledge how much you've changed and grown. Acknowledge how much you've transformed. The next thing is this. When the energy shifts next month, not so much in November, well, there's direct motion in November, but in December, big shifts. 8 of Pentacles, love it. The way that you get things done, the way that you move through the world, you may start to notice you're being asked to do that differently. While you've had all this energy in your sign, you may have felt like, it was just getting in there, doing the deep, heavy, dark work. And there can be almost build a comfort level with that intensity. November is going to be a time while you're taking stock, when that Jupiter-Pluto conjunction happens, as Mars goes direct, as Mercury goes direct, all that's happening in November. Empress. Yep, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Empress energy for you all. Very important. Get prepared. Get prepared. And I don't mean this in a scary way. You've already done the kind of intensive work that often we would talk about when you say get prepared. I'm asking you to get prepared to soften up a little bit. Wheel of Fortune. These energies, Jupiter and Saturn, are moving into Aquarius, into your neighboring sign, into your second house, which is a Venusian ruled house, which is a house ruled by like what we love and value and our possessions and how worthy we feel, our value in the world, our self-love in the world. It is not about doing things. Queen of Pentacles. Yep, okay. Strong message here of nurturing for you all. Very strong earthy energy of nurturing yourself, getting prepared, speaking to gratitude, acknowledging all you've grown, getting prepared for a softer way of doing things. You're not going to be able to rely on the intensity that the last 3 years have brought to be the only way you get things done. And so it's a really great time to just kind of start to temper, right? Add a little of that warm mixture into your cold mixture. I'm not saying you guys are cold, but just the imagery, you know, to warm this up, get yourself warmed up for this next energetic phase. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. It's really interesting. This is about, you know, the long term, the long range, things that you've been building for a long time. It's not just getting to the end and having the results and being done and being like, oh, great. It's when we've really, over time, mastered a skill. Over time, built up, oh, there's a fly. Sorry, you guys. Built up our skill set, right? And this is where that acknowledgement of what you have built, what you have learned, what you have understood over the last 3 years is very important. Because I guarantee you, if you really take the time to do that, you'll realize you have mastered a skill. You have mastered something you are taking with you into the new year, into this shift in energy that we will see in December. And this is it really is so powerful to take a moment and really acknowledge it, because what will happen is you'll see, oh, I have these skill sets now. So what could I do with that moving forward, knowing that I'm closing out a 3-year cycle? How do I want to take this skill and apply it into the next thing? Now, the Empress is a card of abundance, right? Well-being, self-love, ease. And this is where I'm saying that get prepared to work much more closely with Empress energy. It's going to start this month, interestingly enough, despite the fact that we're having a final squeeze of intensity with Jupiter, Pluto, with Mars stationing direct. There is a call coming in here for you to start dabbling with this energy. Start dabbling with the Venusian beauty of life. Have fun with it is the message that comes through. Find ways to indulge in your senses. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it involves, you know, just enjoying those little sumptuous things, and also practicing into self-love and self-worth practices really strong. There are just times when that is a theme that comes through, because here's the thing, Wheel of Fortune, transformation, baby. Time for change, time to be doing things a little differently. One of the notes that came through for Capricorn before I sat down with you all and I was just feeling through what November was going to mean to you was that it's not going to work getting motivated by fear, struggle, or nose to the grindstone next year. It's not going to be your most effective way to accomplish goals, to be in into a joyous state. It's not going to be, you can use those, that's your choice, but they're not the most effective way for you moving forward. Wheel of Fortune for me is that shift. Empress is that shift. Queen of Pentacles is that shift. You can see that this Wheel of Fortune is shifting you into this earthy, mothering energy that is so much about tending deeply to your soul, to your being, slow medicine, slow love, and that bounty and abundance and stability comes from that medicine. And that is really where you're going to be asked more and more and more to focus your practices. These cards are extremely supportive of you, Capricorn. There's a lot of earth energy here, which obviously Capricorn is an earth sign. So that's, to me, saying there's a lot of flow here, right? There's a lot that's wanting to work with you. There's a lot that's making sense in this process, which is awesome. You got to trust this though, right? There's a very easy simplicity to this, which just says, you know, yeah, the things you've been working on, they culminate, they come to fruition, they coalesce. That taking those times to be working with Venusian energy, which is so beautiful to work with, and such a shift from working from Saturn energy and even Jupiter energy, which are both very masculine, go-getter energies in many ways. Shifting gears into this other space is just, it's going to be so fun, but it's just a reminder that it may also feel a little bit like, how do I do that, right? This is also speaking to well-being, physical healing, connection and love, clarity around money. And one thing that's true for November, the smoke clears a little bit from all this bridge building and all this tearing down, opening up. And there is an ability to see what we have with us, what we're taking with us moving forward. And there's a pause too. I think November, it is a forward motion month. It's also taking a pause to be like, whoa, what did I learn during Mars retrograde? What did I learn during Saturn and Capricorn? What did I learn during Jupiter and Capricorn? What did I learn during all the Mercury retrogrades of 2020? What did I learn in Venus retrograde back in May and June? There is a moment of kind of reckoning, and it doesn't have to be negative. It can be very, very soulful and nourishing to just take a moment. And in some ways I feel like, especially as we get to the end of November, this is before your birthday season, before Capricorn season, this is your rebirth moment to connect in with what is next, and also to honor what has been, and just be in that space, right? I'm going to pull one final card today from the Animal Totem Tarot. This is a beautiful deck. Highly recommend if you're looking for a different way to work with tarot. And I'll read the message that comes with the card, because these messages are just so beautiful. I haven't used these since January 2020, last Capricorn season. So I'm curious to see what comes. Ace of Cups. Yeah, seriously, you all, your cards are some of the most beautiful I've seen this month. Hands down. Hands down. So let's see what the message is for the Ace of Cups. The Kingfisher. Look how beautiful that bird is. My goodness. Okay. There are many places for you to enter into the river, but this spot here, this is the best point of entry you will find. Here the water is not only calm and inviting, but it offers up everything you could ever wish for. This is why when spring returns to the river of creative potential, I come back to its banks and drink from its overflowing cup. And you know, that's what I'm saying. I think you're allowed to invest in that cup, right? You're allowed to invest in this divine, beautiful, connective cup as it overflows. And that overflow is where the beautiful things are coming for you moving forward. This is a month of renewal. This is a month of reckoning. This is a month of deep honesty and centeredness, finding your center, giving yourself credit, and also being willing to be open to the Empress, to the Ace of Cups, to these energies that are very soft and nurturing. The way they bring their medicine and their beauty tends to be a little bit more understated. It doesn't hit you over the head with a balloon full of confetti that explodes in your face and you're like, oh, this must mean I'm on the right track. It tends to come in the form of moments of contentedness, of moments of well-being, and moments of, oh, I've been plugging away at this skill and I can feel that I can do it now without it being a struggle. These are the places you're going to want to look to notice where your soul is calling to you. not in the moments of contrast so much. That's one form of learning, right? One form of learning is in contrast. As Abraham Hicks will point out time and again, that's how we figure out what we want in life. There's another form of learning which has to do with where we feel ease, where we feel joy, where we feel like safety and softness. And this is a very important, like, this is the message that did want to come through to Capricorns today. And I think it's really interesting how it came through and how directly it came through. It guarantees that you will keep building beautiful things. You're not going to stop building beautiful things and being out there in the river of life, but you have to enter it from this cup, just the way the Kingfisher wanted to show you today. Oh, that's so beautiful. I could sit with this card and just think about entering those waters, those soft, calm waters all day, I think. I'm going to be offering a lot of extra support, as always, on Patreon. And it's really a great place if you want to get to know me more, my process, and also just get that weekly energetic support, worksheets, conversations, like-minded people who are also exploring and figuring themselves out. Highly recommend you come and join us. It's amazing. I love it over there so much. I love it here too, obviously. It's not just one or the other. They're both great spaces. I'm so happy to be here with you. You can also find me on my website and my Instagram. I'd love it if you subscribe. I love having you here. I love talking to you every month. I'd love to share more with you. You can also find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry on her Etsy shop. I will leave her link below as well. And I will see you all in December for the beginning of Capricorn season, for a really momentous month of shift. I love you so much, Capricorn, and I will talk to you very soon.